Episode 9. Welcome to the Aligned and Thriving podcast. I'm your host, Jada, and this is where ambitious female entrepreneurs like you come to align systems, strategies, and self for more sustainable success. Let's dive into this week's episode. Today, I'd like to share some questions with you that I encourage you to ask yourself if you're feeling like business is not where you'd like it to be. That might be in relation to success as you view it, the income that might be coming in from your business. It could be the way in which business is functioning. Maybe you're feeling overstretched. Maybe you're feeling burnt out. Maybe it's not feeling in alignment. Maybe you are achieving success, but you're not feeling good in yourself. You will know if your business is feeling clunky, heavy, unsuccessful, frustrating, whatever words and feelings that you would be using. If any of those things are feeling true for you, I want to share these questions with you to check in with yourself. And they might not be the kinds of questions that you would expect when it comes to questions to ask yourself when you're not experiencing the results that you desire in business. And if everything is going really well in business right now, these can be great questions to check in on regularly or semi-regularly or every now and again to make sure that you're on track for an aligned, successful business so that we're looking for success in a holistic sense. Now, if you have been doing this online digital business thing for a while now and you're not getting the results that you're desiring and things don't feel like they're flowing for you, it can be frustrating to say the least. Whether that's in revenue, the systems, the clients, the marketing, the way you feel, your processes, team, any part of running your online business, maybe you feel like things should be flowing by now and you're really not sure why they're not. That's a first question before we dive into the ones I've got prepared. Do you know why things aren't flowing or why the success that you're desiring isn't there for you? Have you identified why? These questions will help you. Maybe you're following all the strategies and structures that you've learned and that you see other successful digital business owners doing. Here's the thing, and it might be disappointing, but there really is no silver bullet. The next best strategy is not the thing that is going to save or make your business. That way, somebody else is doing something is not going to be the magic fix. Copying somebody else's structure or looking for that next best strategy is not going to create the flow and the success and the growth that you are looking for in your business. Yes, they all could play a part of it, but looking for one fix is not the solution. It is always many things. It is time. And in fact, this is something that I wish more people talked about, and I'm glad that some people do. The reality is, and I was having a chat with one of my clients about this recently, it takes time, and generally it takes far more time than we would hope. And part of the process of owning a business and being an entrepreneur, and part of one of the greatest skills that we can develop in ourselves is resilience. It is resilience to keep on going when something doesn't work, when somebody says no, when something doesn't work out, when we don't get the numbers in that we're looking for, whenever we try something, because we have to try all the time. We have to experiment all the time as entrepreneurs. So that resilience to keep on going, to keep on believing, to keep on having faith, to get back up again, to reestablish that faith and dust ourselves off and get that bravery back again each time, every day, ongoing, and to keep on doing that for the time it genuinely takes. Nobody, and you've probably heard it before, and it can kind of sound a little bit cliche, but it is true. So the more times you hear it, the better if you don't yet fully believe it. Nobody who seemingly has overnight success actually achieved that success overnight. If they had their first launch was this huge success and multi 5 or 6 figures, then they've done something before. That is not their first time in the rodeo, my friend. They have got background behind them. So those kinds of results, that overnight success, it just doesn't exist. It takes time to build a successful business, a business that is generating the income that you need and that you desire, a business that is in flow, a business that feels good. And it is a combination of so many things. So if you are feeling behind, if you are feeling stuck, if you are wondering why things aren't flowing more, if you are wondering why you've not yet reached the success that you are desiring or you're seeing other people have, these questions I'm going to share with you are going to be helpful, because really part of my job as a coach and business mentor is to ask questions, to find the right questions that are going to help you to find the best path for you and your business. So these few questions I'm going to share with you will help you find answers that I hope will create clarity from within you. And remember, don't just listen to these questions. Grab out your journal or a notebook, write the questions down, and take some time to answer them. And once you have, I would absolutely love to hear from you and know which one of these questions was helpful. And even more so is when you do them, if they help give you some clarity or to help you feel less stuck and frustrated and more clear and confident to move forward. I would absolutely love to hear from you. So let's dive into the questions. Question number 1 is, are you being a match for the business that you want? I'll repeat that. Are you being a match for the business you want? Consider beliefs, thoughts, and actions. Make sure you write that question down. Are you being a match for the business you want? Write down things that you believe, the thoughts you have, the actions, and check in. Are they the kinds of beliefs, thoughts, and actions that somebody has with the business already that you are desiring? And take some time to answer that question. Question number 2, are your offerings designed to match the goals you have and to support the way you work best and the lifestyle you desire, plus the people you serve? So this is a quite a big question. I'll repeat it again. Are your offerings designed to match the true goals that you have and to support the way you work best and the lifestyle you desire? Plus, are your offers designed to match the people you actually want to serve? This is a really important one. I have spoken to many people, and when we have a look at their offerings, there can be a mismatch in the offer suite, that is the combination or ecosystem of offers that they have, that is courses, memberships, tiny offers, whatever that might be, whatever that looks like for your business or their business, and the actual lifestyle that they're wanting to create. This could be price point. This could be the kind of container it is. This could be how many people they're trying to get in. It could be a variety of things to do with the offers. And they're not truly matched to the person that they're wanting to serve. As in, is it available at any time to join, or is it only available a number of times per year? But is the person that they're needing to serve going to need it just at the drop of a hat or at a specific time? You know, when is it the right thing, right, quote unquote, to have an evergreen availability so that your offer is available at any time versus doing it through a live launch? How do you figure that out? Part of this is answering these questions to know whether or not your business and your offers are aligned with your goals, with the way you work best, with the lifestyle you desire, and with the people you're actually wanting to serve. So this is a pretty in-depth question, but really take some time to answer it and dive into it and analyze the answer and really be truthful with yourself to figure out if they are or not and where it's out of alignment, if at all. Is it that it does match your goals, but maybe it doesn't match your ideal people, or it's a real match for your ideal clients, but it's not really a match in the way that is going to be good or work with your ideal lifestyle or the way that you work best, for example. So we need to get all of these things aligning and matching. This is really important when it comes to creating an aligned and holistic and sustainably successful business. All right, question number 3. Are your strategies and structures aligned with you and your goal, your phase of business, your phase of life, your business goals, your life goals? Or have you been copying the ones you see other people using or that you've learned along the way? These questions, they're deep and they require some looking in the mirror and really checking in with yourself. Are the strategies that you've got in place, is the structure that you've set up in your business, are these things aligned with you and your goals, your season of life, your season of business, or are they ones you've borrowed? And look, borrowing is essential. Learning the basis of structures and strategies is really important. That's the first step. However, that step doesn't take us all the way to the full fulfillment of the success generally that we desire within our business. So we have to do this analysis. We need to do this deep check on whether or not maybe a system or a strategy was a match earlier on and maybe it's no longer that way anymore. Or maybe you borrowed it for a time and that was great for you to learn the skills that you needed. And now you actually need to look at how you can personalize that or tweak it so it's more of a match for how you work best, your season of life, your season of business, and the goals that you have in life and in your business and for yourself. So we really need to do that check-in on the strategies and that structure of your business, from time to time. And especially if things are feeling heavy or clunky or out of flow or unaligned, or, you're not having that success that you're really looking for. This is really important. So these are 3 questions that I highly recommend you write down in your journal and you set aside at least, 15 minutes, half an hour. Do it now even, and just answer. You could go about this in a couple of ways. You could just do it quickly and just sit down, write down the question and just let flow whatever comes out at first, and then kind of circle back to it and think about it some more and let these questions percolate in your mind for a bit. Or maybe you want to set aside some solid time to really dive deep. Maybe you want to take some time to do a little meditation first, get yourself in the zone, get your mind calm and clear and focused, and then actually ask yourself these questions and really go deep with them. Well, however it works for you, but I really recommend that if you are not, having the success that you're looking for, if things are not flowing in your business the way you'd like them to be, or it doesn't feel good, ask yourself these questions, go deep, look in the mirror, really check it out and answer these questions truthfully for yourself, because this is the kind of reflection that we need to do as business owners. And just know that if you are wondering, why isn't it working for me yet? You are not alone. There's probably millions of other entrepreneurs sitting at home just like you are, wondering the same thing. Because, my friend, it simply does take longer than we think, and longer really than is often painted. The picture is painted that there's this quick success with digital business. But like any business, we have to set up the foundations. We have to go through the learning curve. And most of the time, you've probably come into business with particular skills that you have to share, and not necessarily all of the business experience and skills that you're having to learn along the way. So there is a huge learning curve. So please give yourself some grace. And this is a reminder just as much for me as it is for you. And as entrepreneurs, it's a reminder we have to give ourselves all the time. We need to give ourselves grace. We need to know things are likely to take longer than we thought. Sometimes not. Sometimes we're surprised and we get this quick action and we get quick results, but more often than not, it takes longer than we would like. And this is not to be a bit of a downer. I don't want you to walk away from this feeling like, oh my gosh, like that's a bit depressing, that it's going to take longer. My hope is that it helps to bring some reality to the picture. It helps you to feel bolstered. It helps you to feel not alone. It helps you to feel like you're not doing anything wrong, that the fact that you haven't got more success by now isn't because you're necessarily doing something wrong. Of course, there are things that you could change or be doing differently to create more success and try differently, for sure. And that's important. It's also important to keep on keeping on. Keep on doing the repetition. Keep on putting your things out there. Keep on building on the foundations. Keep on showing up. And that is just part of the game. So I really hope that this helps you to feel empowered to do that, and that you really take the time to ask yourself these questions. And I would absolutely love to hear from you once you've done these questions, to know, were they helpful? Which one was most helpful? Has answering them helped you feel a bit unstuck or more clear? Has it given you an idea? Has it made you wonder how you could be structuring or designing your business in a different way? Do you need help with that? This is something I absolutely help my holistic business mentoring clients with, is really designing and developing their business and their offers and themselves in an aligned way to create a business that is a match for the life that they want to design. So this is really important. So that's where these kinds of questions come from. And they might be a little bit left of field compared to other business success questions that you might have heard before. If you have found these questions and this episode helpful, I would absolutely be so stoked if you would share this with an entrepreneurial bestie, so that they can make the most from these questions as well and dive into their business to create a more aligned and sustainable and holistically successful business. If you have enjoyed this episode also and you've got a particular takeaway, I would absolutely love it if you want to share on socials. Tag me if you do. I would love to give you a bit of a shout out. But most of all, I'd so love to connect over on Instagram in the DMs. You can find me jada.businessmentor, and I look forward to chatting. Thanks so much for joining this episode, and I'll be back again next week with more. See you then. That's a wrap on today's episode of the Aligned and Thriving podcast. Thanks so much for spending this time with me. I hope you're walking away with insights, inspiration, and something you can take action on right away. If you loved this episode, make sure you subscribe so you never miss a future one. And if you know a business bestie who would find this valuable, please send it their way, because thriving in business is even better when we do it together. I'd also love to hear your biggest takeaway. You can screenshot this episode, share it on Instagram, and tag me at jada.businessmentor, or send me a DM so we can connect. Until next time, keep aligning, keep thriving, and I'll see you in the next episode.